Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me here this afternoon. Wanted to start, well, we'll just look briefly at the title of today's speaker, the topic for today's seminar again. And when you sign up for these things a couple of months back, then you say, yeah, that's fine, I'll get involved with that. And then it's not until about a week out you think, hold on, what do I want to talk about? So, connecting bold thinkers in a time of change, real stories from boots on the ground. Well, luckily my wife's an English teacher, so she said, well, if you don't know what else to do, break the question down. So that's what I've done. So, boots on the ground, who are we? There we go, that's likely lads and lasses, the team at A.G. Wright in Cambridgeshire. We farm about 1,800 hectares across the Cambridgeshire Fens south of Ely, of which 250 hectares of potatoes and about 1,600 hectares of cereals and stewardship. We grow on a wide range of soils, from deep black fens to light sands, and we're grown for a variety of markets, from premium wheat markets to processing and pre-packed potatoes as well. In terms of the team, 7 full-time, up to 15 at harvest. And in terms of business aims, well, profitability is the key for us, but crucially, as a family-owned business, 4th generation, leaving the farm in a good condition for the next generation. And our task there is extra tricky, given the soil types, the black fens, the challenges we face going forwards in terms of carbon, etc. So who am I? Well, I joined A.G. Wright 5 years ago, originally a West Country boy from South Shropshire. I graduated from Newcastle in 2010, and then spent 8 years with Court Farms Farm Care, working my way up through the management ladder, and to whom I owe a lot for that grounding in the industry. So, a time of change. It is a huge time of change, isn't it? It doesn't matter what graph we look at, whether it be wheat prices, oil prices, nitrogen prices, or the reduction in BPS. None of us can deny that it is a real time of change, and ultimately it's what we do about that as businesses. How can we manage that change? How can we reduce the risk of it? So the next part of that, the initial topic, bold thinkers. Well, there's the elephant, Andrew. The crux there, I don't see myself as a bold thinker, that being the elephant in the room. But I do love talking to bold thinkers. Hence, when somebody said, do you want to come and be on a panel with the likes of Andrew and Joe, I was keen, because it's the conversations with those guys that help me hopefully drive our business forward. So that's really, if you're not a bold thinker, find some people who are. They'll help your business be bolder, perhaps. So real stories. What are we doing that's potentially innovative? Well, to be honest, we engage a lot with our customers, particularly in the fresh sector or the fresh produce sector. Canes, Greenbelt, Spearhead, 3 of our potato customers, all doing significant work in terms of innovation, particularly around carbon, etc. We're working extensively with the Canes on their regenerative programs, Greenbelt on carbon, and Spearhead with some extensive cover crop trialing. Not necessarily new topics, but topics that we're really enjoying becoming part of. And actually, who are your customers? And best customers are innovating, and you get on board with their innovation and help steer it. We're all sat in those conversations, on those presentations where you sort of, well, why are they looking at that? Well, if you get in and drive what they're innovating on, lo and behold, they're financing the innovation. So that's probably a certain tactic of ours. A few other characters. One of the key things is with technology, there's a lot of technology out there, and I think trying to select what technology to use is really crucial. For me, that comes down to return on investment, return on time, but also people. And these couple of gentlemen working closely with Emmy and Steph as our potato agronomist, and James from Omnia. It's relationships, it's whether you believe in what they're doing. And we, through their drive and their innovation, have been able to inputs on the fertilizer side. So yeah, really, being selective, being careful on what you select and where you innovate. Other real stories, what else are we doing? Well, we're doing extensive soil sampling to understand our soils that we farm. As I said before, we've got extensive range of soils and doing more and more soil sampling at more depth to try and understand how we manage them and get the most from them. It's an example of some of the soil sample results we now do. And really, this would potentially be our journey towards more sustainable soil management practices. I pose that question, are we regenerative? Who knows? But we're doing something, which is the key, I feel. Work very closely with a company called Yagro, and actually that's due to the extensive amounts of data that we have that we don't make the most of. So what I've tried to do, and I challenged them when I first went to A.G. Wright's actually, in terms of what are they doing that's new, and what can they help me with that's new, that is outside the box really. And these are just some of the examples of some of the data that they've crunched for us. We've been looking extensively at nitrogen rates and trying to cut those, gross margins and how to optimise them, but also benchmarking is crucial. Seeing where we are against our competitors and where we want to get to. Somebody once told me benchmark, but where do you benchmark? What are the good benchmarks, and how do you get a reliable benchmark? Well, Yagro have helped us do that. And some very complicated graphs, which if you're interested to know a bit more about, I'm happy to talk to you about. But just an example of the data we've got and how we're trying to crunch those numbers to improve our business. So yeah, innovative ways to add value or actually optimise cost. And I think sometimes you reach a ceiling on adding value. You've got maybe restricted markets, etc. But what can you do to optimise the cost? So finally, final part of our seminar topic, connecting people. Well, connecting is crucial, isn't it? And it doesn't matter how you do it, it's so important. Getting out of your comfort zone, talking to people, it can be as simple as a WhatsApp group. I've got a WhatsApp group with 21 local farm managers, very catchily named EAFM for the East Anglian Farm Managers. Well, actually they're just 21 like-minded people who get together and share ideas, or when you're in a sticky situation, there's somebody to help you with an idea. Find the organisations that you get on well with, the Institute of Agricultural Management, and indeed, again, Yagro, I've done a lot of work with them on virtual benchmarking, and they can help place you into those positions with like-minded growers, etc. So I think that connecting piece is essential. We don't all like connecting, we don't all like talking, but find find your best way of doing it, and that's great. So finally, thank you very much for listening. I'll just leave you with on this November day with some flowers, some kit and some sunshine. So thank you for listening.